March Madness is supposed to pit the nation's top teams against each other in exciting matchups. But sometimes, it just leads to the most boring game possible. I'm Connor Grohl, and this is Slept on Sports, the podcast that takes interesting, lesser-known sports stories you could say have been slept on, and brings them back into the light. Today, I'm here to share with you the game that set the men's NCAA tournament record for the fewest total points scored in the shot clock era. On March 12, 1999, the 5-seed Wisconsin Badgers took on the 12-seed Southwest Missouri State Bears in a first-round matchup, one that saw the 12-seed pull off the upset by a final score of just 43-32. There were only 75 points scored in the entire game. Wisconsin entered the game ranked number 18 in the AP poll, establishing a new shot clock era record for the fewest points scored by a ranked team, a record which stood until 2019, when famously, number 12 Virginia Tech beat number 23 NC State 47-24 in ACC play. But while that was just a regular season game, Wisconsin's paltry output on the offensive end came in the NCAA tournament. How does something like that even happen? First off, a brief history of low-scoring NCAA tournament games. Before the 1985-86 season, there was no shot clock, meaning teams could theoretically hold the ball as long as they wanted. Beginning in the 1985-86 season, a 45-second shot clock was implemented in the men's game, ultimately getting shortened to 35 seconds in 1993-94, and finally 30 seconds in 2015-16. Way back in 1941, more than 40 years before any type of shot clock was used, Pitt and North Carolina set the record for the fewest points in an NCAA tournament game, when the Panthers beat the Tar Heels 26-20, just 46 points in total. Wisconsin is also familiar with low-scoring March Madness games. After Pitt beat UNC, they fell to Wisconsin in the semifinals 36-30. Then, in the next game, Wisconsin set the record for the fewest points in a title game when they beat Washington State 39-34 for just 73 points in all. But even though those games technically had fewer points than the Badgers' 1999 clash with Southwest Missouri State, I'd argue that the 99 game was the most boring by far. At the time, Wisconsin was being coached by Dick Bennett, the father of current Virginia coach Tony Bennett. Virginia is known for their slow, defensive-minded, grinded-out style of play, and those Wisconsin teams were no different. The 99 Wisconsin Badgers were ranked 309th out of 310 teams in adjusted tempo by KenPom, and their average game finished just 62-55. The Badgers took things to a new level, even for them, in their matchup against Southwest Missouri State. Between both teams, there were only 80 total shots taken in the game. For reference, the Virginia Tech-NC State game had 99 shots, and amazingly, the Pitt-UNC game that finished just 26-20 had 134 total shots. In that game, Pitt shot 9 for 69, while North Carolina was 9 for 65. Southwest Missouri State, a Missouri Valley team that would rename to just Missouri State in 2005, also had a famous coach, Steve Alford, who would go on to coach at Iowa, New Mexico, UCLA, and now Nevada. The game established its tone early, as the two teams combined for just 6 points in the first 6 minutes of the game. By halftime, that number was only 33, as Southwest Missouri State led 21-12. Across the entire 40-minute game, there were only 25 made shots. The favorites, Wisconsin, shot just 12 for 47, and had one player score more than 6 points. Southwest Missouri State took just 33 shots in the entire game, making 13 of them. That is only one shot attempt every minute and 13 seconds. They also turned the ball over 17 times. And somehow, they won this game by double digits. Rebounding was a big part of the reason why. Southwest Missouri State out-rebounded Wisconsin 35-18 in the game. Two members of the Bears, Danny Moore and Kevin Alt, combined for 27 rebounds, more than double their season average of 10.6, and out-rebounded every other player in the game, both teams by themselves. In total, there were only 6 offensive rebounds in the entire game, meaning neither team could get easy second-chance looks. Remarkably, though, both teams actually shot really well from the free throw line, going 20 for 24 in all. Had they not been as successful from the charity stripe, the game's score could have been even lower. Once again, the final score was Southwest Missouri State 43, Wisconsin 32. The Badgers football team actually ended up scoring more points in the Rose Bowl that season, a 38-31 win over UCLA, than their basketball team did in the first round of March Madness. Following the 75 combined points scored by the Bears and Badgers, the next lowest scoring first-round matchup came when the 12-seed Detroit beat 5-seed UCLA 56-53 for 109 total points. No other matchup in the entire NCAA tournament featured fewer than 100 points scored. After playing in a game that contained just 75 points, Southwest Missouri State scored 81 points by themselves in their second-round matchup, an 81-51 blowout victory over 4-seed Tennessee. Their Cinderella run came to an end, though, in the Sweet 16, where they lost 78-61 to 1-seed Duke, who were the favorites in the tournament and ultimately finished as the runners-up, losing to UConn in the championship game. The team, then called Southwest Missouri State, has not been to the men's NCAA tournament since. But there you have it, an incredibly slow, boring game where the father to one of the best coaches in today's game was upset by a young coach who has since been all around the world of college basketball. It's this week's Slept On Sports story. I've been Connor Grohl. Thanks for listening, and until next week, stay sleepin'.